13 level 1.
That's a description.
It's just oh no, and he got locked in. Oh, back to start. Boy, that is a chunky little boy. Tabby's gonna find the second take any. That's at vanilla level 8. Meanwhile, where's DK headed?
Looks like just to check out more of the Dead Woods. It looks like the stream dropped on Twitch for just a moment, and so we got one heart container basically.
Yes, that's right. We're about to get a peek here on Tabby's side at the coast item. That's the any key on the coast.
Any key.
So the only secret we've seen so far is we find some hints on DK's side of vanilla level 3. Those are tempting, even with just 31 rupees in the pocket.
Yeah, kind of an average set of hints. It looked like it was going to cost maybe around 100 to buy all 3 of them, which is kind of average prices, I think, for those.
Not terrible. Speaking of terrible, we found level 7. Because level 7 is level 7 on Tabby's side in the Eastern Forest. Tabby, oh, hey, and we have bombs in the southwest corner.
Not a particularly great price. We'll see what kind of enemy set Tabby's going to discover here in this level 7. It's the Gorilla set, and it's actually not all that large for level 7, so perhaps level 7 will be kinder than usual tonight.
Yeah, that is not terrible. What is level 7? I'm trying to think of what that is. That's a delivery driver on one of those electric bikes, maybe? That's a Triforce on the floor that Tabby's going to at least take a peek in this room. Yeah, probably just grab it and call it a day here.
Yeah, did get a good look that you can't go up the right-hand side of that level 7 dungeon, and so either there's going to be kind of a longer path that goes up the left-hand side and then cuts over, or maybe he's going to use one of the transport segments and there'll actually be a segment in the upper right.
Yeah, 7, when you have a layout like that has some pretty clear lanes of traffic, it can be one of those segmented, not segmented things where technically it is not a segmented level 7, but just by the function of where the old men are, it ends up forcing you to take the stair. As that's an item pickup on Tabby's side. That is, what did we get?
It was a heart container.
A heart container.
It's up to 5 now, and so we got a 2 out of 3 chance if he finds the White Sword Cave that he'd be able to pick that up. And so now, in addition to just looking for the Wood Sword, the White Sword is going to be good odds for Tabby.
That is very nice this early. Neither of our runners has found the Wood Sword yet, but there's still time, and we have seen quite a bit in this tournament with this flag set that you can have the White Sword be your first sword and be just fine. Happens with some frequency.
Indeed, and yeah, that's one of the things in the flag that the White Sword Cave always has the White Sword item, and as a result, getting an Armos Heart can be pretty exciting because it gives you a much better chance of being able to pick up the sword that early.
Okay, so our runners have kind of flip-flopped here. It's DK who's discovered level 5, and it's Tabby who's in the Eastern Forest and gets another medium secret.
DK did not immediately pirouette the door at the start of 5. I think it's a good thing to go ahead and do early in the dungeon, just in case you need to save any rooms without actually exiting the dungeon. But he's going to go back out now and pirouette it open.
Alright, 3 keys. It would be tempting to spend a key here, but maybe not. Might not be such a good idea at this early stage.
Well, we've got the Gorilla and Wallmaster set in level 5 as well. DK is doing the same strategy of trying to use the candle to kill some keys. Level 5 is a level that drops in the pointless moat room, so if he can kill 2 more, he can see if there's a drop here.
There he goes. He's down to 1. Well, okay, so it's a Pepsi night on Tabby's side. 32 for the Pepsi, 74 for the Coke, and Tabby looks like, gonna drink it now and then head right back out. And look at that. It turns out our Triforce in level 5 was in that keys room.
Neat. So DK also has a Triforce on the board.
And there are Triforces in levels to where if you end up never having to go back to those levels, you're not gonna feel bad about that at all. Level 6 is 1 screen north of level 5.
And Tabby has found level 3 up in the northeast as well, so we're getting a lot of level finds, but neither runner has a sword yet. You don't want to spend too much time in these levels, but you do want to see if you can just poach something easy off the floor if you can.
Yeah, especially in a level like level 3, where it's with some likelihood that you can find something on the floor, or hey, rupee boss and a key's not bad either.
Rupee boss is definitely my favorite boss in this game.
Oh, well, that rupee boss was kind of a honey trap. It's like you follow it in, follow the path, and 8 Wizrobes ready to shoot you in the face. Oh, great.
Surprise! Oh man, those blue Lionels in the desert too on DK's side. Also a scary.
Yeah,
scary
they love to just turn and fire on you. Ugh. Alright, so no, we haven't seen the wood sword. I thought there was a decent chance the wood sword might be up here in the northeast. We have not seen this screen, one screen to the
Yeah, this is one of my favorite
is.
places to find the wood sword or whatever. Like, I know it's always confirmation bias, but I feel like the sword is often on the screen, so we'll see what Tabby finds.
Ha! Burn. I was going to say burn the witch, but no, yeah, you called it. That's exactly where it was.
Commentator's blessing. Thank you very much.
That's exactly right. Okay, and a nice screen scroll by Tabby to get right over to level 5, where we know the transport was. Going to check these two top of the waterfall spots here.
And a mere 20-something seconds later, DK is also at this screen picking up his wood sword, so we're equalized in terms of the offense.
And I think both of our runners may end up being in level 4 before too long. Tabby tried to pirouette that. That didn't pop open, so Tabby's going to have to go to the left here, with 4 being at the bottom of the top. I almost said bottom of the top of the waterfall. That's not a thing.
I like the fact that there's a blue Dark Knight approaches command. DK will get a chance to see that same community hint in a little bit, and of course DK coming from Dragon Warrior Randomizer will definitely appreciate that one.
Oh yeah, that is right. I always forget that that's in the mix of potential old man speak in the cave. Yeah, it is enjoyable. It's nice when we have callbacks to other games.
Especially when they're somewhat apropos for our runners.
Very, very much so.
We've got a possible staircase room over here for Tabby Orange. Maybe we'll actually get to see a dungeon basement item shortly.
Yeah, that's true. For all the dungeons we've seen, we have not seen a dungeon item. This is a push block. What do we have? Oh, we're segmented. Okay.
DK is headed back into level 3. So we'll see if he has any better luck with the sword now.
And this probably is our item. Yep, it is.
Oh wow.
That's a quality of life item right there. That is the red ring. That is quadruple defense.
Tabby's only on 5 hearts and wood swords. There's still a possibility he might take a death in this seed, but it probably won't be long before he will be relatively invincible.
Very true. And compare that to what DK's having to deal with in this Wizrobe-infested level 3 with the danger noodles running around. He's having to be very careful, doing a very nice job spacing himself out and getting rewarded with the ladder on the floor.
That is terrific. And yeah, that was some really great combat. Good job, DK.
Very well done, and a just reward as a result. Now, the good news for Tabby, if you're rooting for Tabby is unlikely to miss that, especially now that Tabby has Red Ring. So this is probably not a scenario where, it's going to be forever before Tabby goes back to pick that up. DK does see that room of blue Wizrobes and goes, I'm good, thanks.
And I'm trying to remember, was he the one who saw that the any key was on the coast? Because I could imagine him immediately going and picking that up, because admittedly he's got 4 keys in his pocket, but having the any key really speeds things up, because even if you have keys, you don't have to walk around to pick them up in dungeons. You can just walk right past them.
That's a very good call, and I think you may be right. He may be headed down and want to knock out some of these checks while he's here, because I don't think he did the Armos checks yet. But yeah, I think he is the one who saw that, as we find level 9 on Tabby's side at the top of the waterfall.
So you were talking about the fact that the any road that went up to Vanilla 5 might actually be useful for getting up to those kind of awkward spots, and it kind of is for the end of the game.
Yeah, and just me personally as a runner, the Lost Hills is always a spot I last location, just because I find it annoying. So I'm kind of glad I'm not running this speed, because I would last location all of that. I just don't like going up there. It's 3 checks and it feels annoying. So what usually happens is if something is important up there, yeah, I'm screwed, because I'm not getting up there for a while. But good on our runners to route that in. Them having the ability, and this is something that we've seen throughout the tournament, and you, Lorgon, as a participant, are exhibit A of that. A lot of our runners have put in a lot of time to learn some of the advanced techniques that our more experienced runners employ regularly. So things like block clips and screen scrolls, just knocking them out like it's nothing. Both our runners use the screen scroll over to get to vanilla level 5 and not have to go up the mountain. It's good 30-45 second time save, but still, because they can do that, they're able to route that in much easier and find that in a way that makes it less painful to clear that. But that's a great job on both their parts with routing and with technique.
DK did manage to pick up his Armos heart as well, so he's also up to 5 hearts. But along the way, he's managed to find level 7 again, and, well, discovers the Triforce that's right here in the entryway, and we'll see if he decides to just take it and run or stick around.
I kind of tend to lean the direction you were saying, that, if you know any keys on the coast, declare victory and go get that. They're like, well, level 7's done, and I have any key? Hey, this is great.
And it seems like DK is agreeing with you. He's going to pick up his 6th heart from Take Any, and he's just a couple screens away from visiting the coast and picking up his Any key. And you're talking about advanced techniques, but yeah, lest you give me too much credit, I don't screen scroll.
Well, you could fool me. I don't either. I need to learn. Mentally, I know how to do it, but it's just one of those things I've never practiced, and it's just devote the time to do it. And build it into your arsenal such that you can just pull it off when you need to pull it off without thinking about it. Tabby's found a stair here in level 1. Let's see if this is our stair item. It is. Okay, it's a heart. So 2 hearts in 1 so far.
And both our runners now have 6 hearts, so if they do encounter the White Sword Cave, they'll guaranteed be having enough hearts to be able to pick it up. And it looks like DK's got 3 bombs in his inventory, so he's like, now's a great time to route in the South Coast.
You have exactly the number of bombs required, so why the heck not?
Just make sure you don't try to place a bomb just as you're getting bopped by a pea-hat, because that's always annoying when you place the bomb and then just get bopped a moment beforehand and it ends up being not close enough to the wall.
Yep, definitely had that happen to me too. That's an interesting level 1 shape. I don't know what that is. That's like a weird salamander, maybe?
Yeah, right now I got nothing. Chat, what do we think? What's level 1?
All right, is this room anything? It is. Oh, that's a recorder on the floor in 1.
That's another nice, both quality of life and possibly blocking item, or unblocking.
Yeah, I mean, it blocks vanilla 7, but, and this is the benefit of our runners. This is a strategy that our runners can employ by picking up Triforces early in levels like 7 that are kind of a ways away from where they started. Now that you have the recorder, all of a sudden, you have the ability to get around the map a lot easier, and that ability gets more beneficial the longer you are playing the game and clearing levels. So this could be very helpful for Tabby's routing.
Indeed. And speaking of routing, DK, it looks like, is now doing Candle Row. We got 4 burn bushes in a row, and the first one gives him a large secret, which wasn't super large, but still happy to have the money. DK doesn't need to buy keys since he's already got the Any key, and so I wonder if we'll see the arrow purchase on his list if one of those shops pops up. Doesn't have enough money for the blue ring right now, and I guess probably DK's fans are hoping that he goes into level 4 at the waterfall and finds the red ring before he ends up spending his money on a blue one.
That certainly would be nice. Although we've all had the scenario where you buy the blue ring, the next item you find is the red ring, and even then, it's one of those things where runners will tell you. It's the same thing with wood arrows and silver arrows. That like, look, if you can guarantee me that I will get silver arrows the minute I buy wood arrows. I'm buying wood arrows every time I get the chance. There's arrows on Tabby's side. She's gonna grab them now, or Tabby's gonna grab them now.
And DK, we'll see after these next couple of checks if DK goes ahead and continues up to the waterfall, or where... Oh, level 2 here is the tree just outside the desert.
Now this is 2 items on the floor, potentially free and easy. There's one of them. That's a heart container. I'm not going to turn that down.
I'm a little surprised that DK chose to use the bomb in that situation. I think I would have just taken a few extra seconds and saved the bomb in case I needed it for breaking open some walls. But in any case, we've got a blue Korea set here. These guys can be nasty when there's this many in the room. It's easy for them to try to sneak up behind you.
Very much so. So but getting beam swords here will help a lot if you can stay on the half tiles and not get turned and burned here. Oh, took a bop there. But the good news is that the Koreas are in the health drop group, so that will help if you don't face tank these guys.
Yeah, lots of hearts and fairies being dropped by these guys. And there's our map of level 2, and that one looks like some kind of snake or worm or something. Well, there's an easy Triforce near the entrance to level 2. We do have a place where DK needs to spend a bomb in order to advance through the room.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of free and easy Triforces so far fairly early in levels, but our runners know that there are items outstanding that they need to get, and some that are really nice to have, like a wand just sitting on the floor in level 2.
And that means we don't even have to see the top half. DK doesn't even want to go there to try to find extra keys because he's already got the any key, so he's got a huge damage upgrade as well as a range upgrade, and had a very quick level 2, has gotten all the things out of it. That's a great find.
That's really efficient routing in level 2. Just get what you need, get out. You don't ever have to come back.
That said, Tabby Orange is sitting on 6 keys, so I have to imagine that by the time Tabby gets over to level 2, it'll be the same story. It was a linear path all the way through there, and so probably will take the exact same route through Dungeon 2 once he gets there.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the only reason you would stick around there is if you were farming for resources. But yeah, this is a race, so unless you have to, you're probably not going to do that. So by my count, the only level we haven't seen yet is level 8, and we have not really seen much of any of Death Mountain. So odds are we're going to find a... Now that Tabby and DK are both making their way to Death Mountain through slightly different paths, we may end up finding the last of our outstanding dungeons here in a minute.
DK going to choose to at least buy an inexpensive hint, and gets a hint about the wand that he's already carrying. Great.
Well, it's a true hint. That's nice, but yeah, you told me... Thanks for telling me something I already know, guy.
Tabby doesn't have enough money to buy that hint right now, but also I think doesn't know the location of Dungeon 2, and so wouldn't necessarily be a big help. But yeah, knowing where the wand is definitely would incentivize someone to try to go to that dungeon. But if you find Dungeon 2, especially with the easy enemy set that was there, you're going to dig it regardless.
Very true, yeah. And 2's just one screen northeast of vanilla level 1, so it's not in a remote location. DK's going to get their heart container. They're up to 8 hearts.
And Tabby has plenty of bombs, and is so going to go ahead and check out West Death Mountain. We've got cheap meat for 63 tonight. I don't remember having seen that before, but perhaps I missed it.
No, I don't think we've seen it either. I think that may be our first instance of the Blue Ring Shop. Well, here's the last of our levels on Tabby's side. Tabby has found level 8 up on Western Death Mountain, and gonna dive in immediately. Looks like we have Gibdo, so this is gonna be the Dark Nut set in this level.
And that's one where DK ends up taking the same path and gets over there. DK will have some advantage. Having the wand is definitely useful in terms of being able to fight those guys. DK can farm some blue Octoroks and does manage to pull a bomb pack, and it looks like headed back towards West Death Mountain with 4 bombs, or no? I guess didn't get a chance to bomb this one spot over here at the grave.
Yep, there's that one spot that he doesn't want to
Gonna be
orphan.
disappointed just to find a door repair, but what you gonna do?
Yeah, it's one of those you know Murphy's Law says the minute you orphan that check, it'll be an important check. Tabby got locked into that room with the four-headed Gleeok in the Chevy room, and had to up an A, and now runs into a vertical chute, and unless Tabby can bomb to the north here, which they can, okay, then there's still a chance of being able to advance in here.
DK is back in level 1, wand in hand, so this should go quickly.
You're gonna get good news here. There's 2 hearts and a flute here, so all useful items. Oh, that heart. That heart's a problem, or that moat's a potential problem for Tabby. Don't have a ranged weapon to get over there. Might need to use. Trying to do the flip into the moat. Yeah, it's bombs at that point, right? Or use your potion, but that seems like kind of a waste. Oh no, it turned at the last minute. Oh, and you can't bomb to the right there. The other thing you could do is go back up and try and see if you can respawn those Zols up at the... Well, nope, gonna cut their losses at that point and call it good in level 8 for now.
Well, DK picks up that first heart out of the level 1's basement, and yeah, don't look now, but DK's already up to 9 hearts. We're almost getting mags worthy. I don't recall having found the magical sword, have we?
I don't believe we've seen it. We have not seen either sword upgrade.
And so that's interesting. So despite the fact that the runners have located all the levels, at least between them, and probably soon both of them will have seen all the levels, it might still be the case that we see more digging at Death Mountain if people decide to go looking. Oh, well, speak of the devil, there's the white sword.
Hey, look at that.
So just a bit past a level 8 at the very extremes of West Death Mountain was the location of that white sword. So that's going to help equalize Tabby in terms of some of the damage output.
Yeah, now if you're Tabby and you get that offensive upgrade, are you thinking about going back to levels like 3 once you kind of finish up these Death Mountain checks? I think your next thought is, okay, let's go to some of those smaller levels that I bailed out of before that I couldn't clear anything in, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think Tabby still has not seen the location of Dungeon 2, and so that's definitely one that's also on his list as a small, easy dungeon to go get knocked out once he can find it. Instead finds a large secret, and DK finds the recorder.
So slightly below average money. The big secret is about 25% off, but the medium secret is the vanilla 30, and I think the small was 11 or something. But yeah, that's 76 large. Not the greatest, but the good news is, at least on Tabby's side, one thing you don't have to buy is blue rings. So ideally, you can conserve some of your resources that way. There's our third large secret, also on Death Mountain.
So at this point, it seems more likely that Tabby's going to have more money than DK, because I think it's less likely that DK is going to find all those large secrets, depending upon exactly how he chooses to route. But DK is going to go ahead and pick up the Triforce out of level 1.
That's 4 Triforces on the board for DK. If you're either runner at this point, you have 3 or 4 Triforces at this point, and upgraded offense 27 minutes in, you've got to be feeling reasonably good at this point, right?
On the one hand, you feel good. On the other hand, it just kind of is feeling mostly like a Jet Seed. Like, they really haven't encountered serious resistance other than perhaps Tabby in Dungeon 8. And I don't remember where it was that... I mean, level 7, I guess we just, like, peeked in and grabbed the Triforce and left. Yeah, was it level 5 that there were Wizrobes? I've forgotten.
I think there was 3 and potentially 5. Both our runners noped out of 3 fairly early. Oh, we're gonna get a recorder lake check. We know this isn't anything.
And as for Tabby's side, I bet he's looking forward to finding another potion shop, just to top himself back off on that. But I wonder if we'll also see him like pick up some cheap meat just because he's got so much money, or if he's going to hold on to it just in case he finds a bomb upgrade in one of these dungeons, making sure he has money for that.
Yeah, bomb upgrade. That's a really good point. We have not seen that. Now, that's probably because we haven't seen much of a lot of the dungeons where bomb upgrade might live, but definitely could be something worthwhile to pick up.
Yeah, 5 and 7 tend to be the most likely, since those are the dungeons that have 3 kind of old men or NPC rooms inside those dungeons, so you have the most chances to find bomb upgrades there. And of course, those are some of the ones that we've noped out of somewhat quickly.
So both our runners so far have kind of one distinct, as Tabby finds level 2, and is going to do an immediate dive of it. Both our runners seem to have kind of their own unique item advantages so far. Tabby has the red ring, which is a big help. DK has the ladder. So far, those advantages have kind of evened out, although DK having the wand as well has made it easier to progress through some of the dungeons. So, a little too early to say who's in the lead at this point, you think?
Yeah, I mean, really, there haven't been many obstacles for either of the runners, and so they're both getting things done in a different order, but I think both of them will catch up with the other in terms of the respective pickups and things. And so the main outstanding things, really, in my mind, are the bow and silvers. We haven't seen, hide nor hair of either of those items, which are obviously going to be required in order to win the game. And so depending upon if they end up being hidden in 6, 7, or 8 somewhere deep, that could be the real thing that's going to swing it later on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those where we're just kind of like waiting for that other shoe to drop, and that shoe could be buried deep in 7, or it could be in a level that we really haven't had a chance to, a smaller level that neither runner's just gotten around to digging yet.
Well, it looks like I was made a liar in terms of like DK routing, because he did manage to check out this part of Death Mountain first, and now he's going to go to Western Death Mountain. He might run out of bombs before he gets to Dungeon 8 or the White Sword. We'll see if he can either get a force. Actually, I think there might have been a bomb shop coming up too.
Oh, that would be good. I think there may be some bomb droppers here somewhere along the way. There may be some blue moblins here. But yeah, no, DK can absolutely force a bomb here. He's got enough bombs to find level 8, which is the next screen over.
And then inside level 8, there'll be even more chances to try to either find bombs on the floor or... yeah, and then if the blue moblins are right out here outside of level 8, then it's no problem at all, really. He can always enter the dungeon after killing all the blue moblins and exit and come back and respawn them.
Oh, Tabby's checking hints here. The expensive hint there was nothing. Tabby is off to fluting to 2. Where's Tabby? Oh, does Tabby want to check the forgotten spot?
Looks like it. Meanwhile, DK's in level 8. DK does have the ladder, and enough offense that he's able to defeat the Gliok despite his current tunic.
Oh, there's a hint on Tabby's side, a pricey one, but useful, in that 8 has the regular boomerang, and Step Over the Water Reach magic key we already knew. So we have a boomerang in 8. It's kind of the only new information that we got here.
Well, I don't think DK is as big of a fan as the banana as I am, but I sure hope he finds it and picks it up. Oh,
it's
speaking of those bomb upgrades.
Yeah, speaking of useful things, that has the potential to be very useful. We'll see if DK goes back for it after clearing this room.
He's in an interesting position, having just seen the blue ring shop for the first time, and also having full bomb capacity right now. Like, if you want to buy it, you want to buy it later after you've spent your bombs in this dungeon, so that you also take advantage of the refill, but he might also be thinking about the blue ring at this point, since he didn't find the red ring, since he didn't find Dungeon 4 yet.
That's a very good point, yeah. And the fact that it's so close to, relatively, to the start of it. Oh, it takes a death there to the blue dark nuts, which are very annoying. But the fact that the bomb upgrade is only a few screens in to level 8 may also factor into it. It may be one of those things where you
That's a great
clear
point.
it out and
He's
and
got
then
the
come get it
recorder.
later.
He might be able to just grab the Triforce and come back and purchase the bomb upgrade later if he really cares to.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Having not seen the red ring yet, prioritizing the blue ring, given kind of the dark nut sets and the Wizrobe sets we've seen so far, yeah, that may be foremost on his mind, and that would not be a bad play at all.
In any case, DK has almost made it far enough north that he's going to encounter this gel room that turned Tabby around with the moat that kept him from going back to the east, so DK will be able to progress further at the level 8, and we're going to see something new here.
And DK also wasn't able to fully clear this room, so if this room is a drop, DK will get that too. It's not, but it does open that shutter door.
Tabby utilizing some double tap to take down the Patra pretty quickly.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Oh, and rewarded with a heart container, and so Tabby ends up being the first to 10 hearts and first to be potentially mags eligible.
And finds a staircase here. There's at least one staircase in level 5, so at best this is a 1 in 3 shot of it being our item, but let's see what we have.
Well, over on level 8, DK on the floor just found a power bracelet, so there's an item out of that one. And then we know that the boomerang's going to be in one of the basements. Well, we know, DK does not. And we'll see what the other item's going to be. Compass and a Triforce would still be a nice pickup for DK. It's got a lot of difficult combat in here. I would be trying to skip as many rooms as possible and just see if we can witness something free on the floor. Oh, but choosing to spend the potion in order to be able to fight these guys off is also a good choice.
Yeah, this is a potential push, so I get the impulse. Just like, do this. I only want to do this once. Let's get this over with and see if this is anything. And if it's not, we can just continue on. But yeah, if you can knock this out, that's worth the 32 or whatever rupees it was to buy a blue potion. Good patient Dark Nut combat on DK's side, using the maze here to his advantage. Just waiting for them to come around the corner.
Yep, it takes some time, but it's being very effective in terms of keeping DK safe. Sadly, it doesn't end up pushing, but is able to bomb out and go find some more rooms.
Speaking of rooms that could push, here's one right here, and with a much more friendly enemy set. Yeah, the good news for DK is that the combination of having better offense and having the ladder here is going to mean that ideally DK can do all of level 8 in one pass rather than Tabby having to come back to do it.
There's our compass. And okay, it's way up in the nose of this weird creature, whatever level 8 is. And DK's going the other direction. We'll see if it ends up paying off for him. This room is just a small little trap.
And on Tabby's side, Tabby's found our stair item in deep in 5. It's the red candle, and Tabby's not interested.
Yeah, with the wand in hand, the red candle really doesn't have a whole lot of value.
Alright, well, Tabby's gonna declare victory in 5, got both items, or seen both items, and Triforce number on the 5 on the board for Tabby, as DK's gonna check this stair. It's our transport.
As a reminder, this is the first game of a doubleheader. This is game 1 of the semifinal series between these two runners, and game 2 will follow sometime thereafter. Who knew Goma has only one eye on one screen? Goma! Showing his one eye on the other.
He's got one eye, but he's got 3 doors locked, and there's one way in if you can pull off that nice job getting the block clip done and getting, well,
what a reward!
Congratulations, you're stuck. But what that means is that
the bow is blocking the Triforce in level 8. Yes.
Oh, we have a bow block in 8 for the. Oh, that's lovely. So we have a bow and ladder block in 8. Oh, fun.
That's our first real obstacle for the runners in my eyes.
Yeah, certainly in terms of being able to complete a dungeon. We've seen all our levels, so nothing's overworld blocked. Yeah, so now we're on a bow hunt. What have we not seen? 6 and 7. 6 is certainly a possibility, and Tabby's there right now, having just finished 5, one screen away. There's our level 6. What in the world is that? Oh, well, that's Zelda's room. That's not a great room to get locked in with Dark Nuts and Pole's voice. So, yeah, Tabby's going to up an A from there.
DK, meanwhile, is determined to try to find the other basement in level 8. If it does turn out to be the bow, then DK will be in excellent shape. But even if it doesn't, he'll at least have all the knowledge of the items of Dungeon 8, and so he'll know when and how he needs to come back.
Very true. And we know our third item in 8, which we haven't seen. We know it's a staircase item because the floor item in this dungeon was the power bracelet. So DK doesn't know he's just looking for a stair here, but that in fact is what he needs.
And for DK here, it looked like he was considering clipping into the block. It's definitely the case that even if he's going to be capable, like he's got a potion in his pocket and he's doing good combat against these blue dark nuts, even if he's capable of winning this battle, when Tabby comes through this room with the red ring, Tabby's going to be able to clear it much more quickly because he can be much more aggressive. And so this is costing DK a little bit of time not having that armor upgrade yet.
It is, but again, good patient combat on DK's side to patiently go through bit by bit and clear out those dark nuts. Didn't get anything for a reward, but one way you can negate that defense advantage is to have proficient combat, and DK certainly has that.
And DK now being very efficient, skipping rooms that don't drop or rooms that don't have the basement that he's looking for. He kind of trapped himself with this Patra, though. I would possibly exit and reset the room and maybe just check that right door first, and then eventually try to go to the north if you need to.
Yeah, that's not a room you necessarily have to do at this stage. So, yeah, your time may be better spent trying to do something else. Meanwhile, on Tabby's side, Tabby is in 3 now with White Sword and Red Ring, so the Dark Nut set here is a lot less scary at this point.
And DK finds the silver arrows.
Oh,
so
wow.
Anyone who's watching who wants to learn how to play Zelda 1 Randomizer, skip big, difficult rooms. Try to find easy ones, because you might get lucky like that. You can always then duck back to the big, difficult rooms if you haven't found what you're looking for. And that's a case where DK got a huge payoff.
Yeah, and that's the type of thing, that's the type of room, given where it is in the map. Oh, DK's going to take a death there. But DK has the compass, so knows that they have to get up to the northwest part of the map. But that location is one, because I think Tabby missed this initially and was headed towards the Triforce, or at least didn't go down that stair. There's a possibility that Tabby might last location that.
I don't understand what's happening on DK's side. He saw the boomerang, he has the power bracelet, and he just got the silver arrows, but does not have a bow, and so still can't get back to the Triforce, right? So why is he in Dungeon 8?
I think... Oh, has he not seen the Goma room yet?
No, he did.
Oh, he did? Oh.
Did he forget, maybe?
That's entirely... He may be... Oh, it's entirely... If I had to guess, my guess is maybe he thinks there's a way around either the transport stair or... Whoa!
Oh,
you just
speaking of the bow, wow,
level
3 was loaded!
Wow, so that's a huge return on investment for Tabby, going back and clearing level 3 with added offensive capability, as you get rewarded in the stair with the bow just sitting there.
And chat gets rewarded by the fact that that's kind of another equalizer, like DK pulled the silvers, but Tabby has the bow, and so I'm not sure who I would say is ahead right now, because those silvers were hard to find. DK, I think, is wasting some time here. We'll double check in just a moment.
Yeah, he may be thinking there's another way around to get to the Triforce, maybe this transport here, but I don't think that takes him where it needs to go. We'll see here in a second, though.
He maybe has cleared all the other rooms of the dungeon and then knows that the transport does have to take him around.
Oh, and sure enough!
Wow, that's the big brain play, and it's going to be a big payoff for DK here, assuming he can stay alive.
So to that point, I'm glad you called that out, because if there is something that may help Tabby here, that may point in one direction as opposed to the other. So Tabby having the red ring made it, I think, a little more palatable to come back to do level 3 and deal with the Wizrobes. DK may be holding off on doing that until having better defense. Now DK's got 248 rupees, can go get a blue ring if they want right now. But that might be holding DK back from going to 3. DK doesn't know that's where the bow is, but find it soon enough. Yep, and DK, next purchase, immediate. Oh, $2 short! No! Don't you have a coupon or something you can use? Does Hyrule have those Bed Bath & Beyond coupons at 20%
The Red
off?
Octorok does.
Oh, okay, that's even better. Alright, so blue ring for DK, and that may point DK in the direction of going to clear easier dungeons. Oh, and good news for DK, this screen right here is the third large secret, so going to get some of that money right back.
Greed is good.
It sure is. And DK has enough bombs, so our white sword is also up here, so DK is about to get that news as well. We have seen all the dungeons. I don't know if there's one that DK hasn't seen yet.
I think 4. He never went to the waterfall area. He just took the transport to any road transport to Vanilla 5, but didn't actually check the waterfall. And so that means he also hasn't seen 9, which was at the top of the waterfall.
Yes. Okay, but he's going to be happy with this find right here. So 2 levels outstanding, which explains why he's taking
and I also think, other than the power bracelets checks that he could do, I think the waterfall is the main place that he hasn't checked, and so I think he's going to be headed there in just a few screens.
Yeah, and if he routes it the way I think he might, there's take any right here, or any road. No, he's not going to do that. Oh, where is he headed? Oh, he's got power bracelet now, so going to do these power bracelet checks here. Looking for 4 and 9.
Well, Tabby manages to get the ladder out of Dungeon 3 as well, and you have to be wondering on Tabby's side. On the one hand, it was a difficult Wizard dungeon, but on the other hand, 3 was in a spot that runners are likely to find early, and Tabby had been blocked, it seemed, by the ladder before, and so he has to be wondering now if he's behind, and if DK had found that ladder first.
Quite true. I mean, that is one of those things where you're just like, oh, it's great to have at 46 minutes, but how long has my opponent had this, and how much is it helping them? But Tabby is going to do the immediate go to the coast and get my coast item play.
And fortunately Tabby never did get blocked by keys, because keys had been actually pretty plentiful in this seed, and so getting the any key late was not really a penalty versus getting it early.
True. Yeah, very true. I mean, we have seen seeds where we have key-starved, where we have had key-starved seeds. This has not been one of them, but 9 can still do 9 things, including have gross maps. Tabby's back in 6 now, as is DK. Okay, so we're gonna get some runner high fives here. This will be fun.
Indeed. And Tabby might end up last locationing the silver arrows. DK might end up almost last locationing the bow, would be my current potential guess at how the rest of the routing is going to work for these runners. We'll see how it actually plays out.
Yeah, and the one difference there is that the bow can't be a 9 in this flag set, but silvers can. So you run into a risk there if you get kind of towards where Tabby is. That do you gamble on silvers and 9? Either way, this race has been, despite the Divergent Pass, this race has been very close throughout. So, if this is an indication of how the entire series is going to go, I think we're in for some very good, very entertaining Zelda action.
Yeah, we've got some good runners and some compelling gameplay. They've taken different routes, but the advantages, I won't say necessarily the lead, but the advantages for each player has switched back and forth, and they've each had different things that the other one hasn't.
Yeah, and so far we haven't really had anything where you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, that's going to cost a good 5 minutes to somebody choosing X instead of Y, or like a coin flip type of thing where, I turned left instead of right, and Now I've sunk all this time. So far, it's just been a matter of getting items as quick as you can get them, and getting Triforces as quick as you can get them. So 9 might end up being the difference here.
Well, DK finds one of the transport stairs in level 6. And chat saying there was a heart on the floor in 6. I missed it. Maybe it was over on Tabby's side when I wasn't looking.
Ah, it's entirely possible. Now that we know where Bow and Silvers are, yeah, it seems kind of anticlimactic. Oh, I wonder what the stair item in 6 is. Yep, there's our floor heart being swallowed, I guess, by that Gibdo, or just carried. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Are they carrying it? Did they eat it? Are they sitting on it?
I'm going to say eating it, because I always think the hearts look kind of like some kind of candy or whatever. They look delicious. So I've got my yum emote, yum, with the heart.
They're the ruffled over variety. There you go.
All right, so our runners are 1 room apart here in level 6. I don't know that we've seen where our Triforces. We haven't gotten a compass either. Wouldn't surprise me if it was up here towards the top. Now we have a high 5.
The other bomb upgrade, but this time DK is 20 rupees short.
Tabby, however, is not. Is Tabby going to get it? Yep. Okay, it's
plus 4.
Standard plus 4. That's okay. Here's the other end of the transport. Well, okay.
Oh, DK still has rooms to look for. I was going to say, I might go back into it because it seems like he still had missing rooms the other way, but I did not realize there was a possible bomb wall down here.
Boy, yeah, looking at that map, DK and both our runners have seen the vast majority of the rooms here in 6, so our item and Triforce must be kind of in that middle left portion?
Yeah, maybe we'll even have a super room where the Triforce room also has a staircase basement.
Yeah, super rooms are the good news, bad news. We're just like, hey, everything's here. It's like, oh, you mean those 15 rooms I dug before that were nothing? I could have just come here and gotten everything all at once? Oh,
that's why I almost always tend to head for the Triforce when I get the compass, because if you get lucky, it'll save you a lot of time. And if you don't, you're probably going to dig the dungeon anyway, so...
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, you're right. One of those big brain plays. Well, here's the stair in 6. Is this also a super room? Yep.
It sure is. And Tabby is going to be able to clear that much faster than DK, because Tabby got the bow. DK's silver arrows cannot help him against those Pulse Voice. And so that's going to be definitely something that's going to cost DK a few seconds when the time comes.
That's a really good point. Yeah, we were just talking about how we haven't had anything that's going to cause one runner to lose time against another. Well, that might cost 30 seconds to a minute to clear that room. Because Tabby is done in 6 and off to level 8.
And I don't remember offhand if DK has a potion left in his pocket right now or not, because those Pulse Voice, even with the blue ring, they can deal some damage.
Yeah, they are annoying, and they do like to hop at the worst possible time. They do have predictable patterns, but at the same time, just,
Yeah, when there's that many, and in the spiral stair room, you don't have the mobility that you do in a bunch of other rooms, and so you really have to be careful.
Very much so. Okay, DK's got to clear this room and be careful. Blue ring helps, but doing a good job stacking damage with the wand and the white sword. So if you do that right, it only takes 2 hits to kill these guys.
And there's a fair chance he might get a fairy drop in this room before it's over, and that would definitely help him out a whole lot.
Ooh, so 12 is enough on Tabby's side. Mags was at the...
Magical Sword was at the Vanilla Potion Shop near Dungeon 3.
Yeah, that is not nothing. That is quite handy for Tabby. So, meanwhile, on DK's side, going to have to be careful and patient here. Yep, going to check the stair first, as Tabby's going to pop back into
Definitely
4.
check the stair first, because for all DK knew, this could have been the bow, and that would have bailed him out for killing the room. And so you definitely check a stair first before killing the room, in case the stair is going to give you an item that helps. So that's a good play by
call.
DK.
Yeah, it's a good call, because DK did buy arrows earlier. Oh, a clock for DK is huge right here. That will save some time.
And this room actually drops in the upper right, so DK was going to have to walk all the way around here anyway, and so that's not really a clock penalty, and so he's going to be very happy with how this pays off. It only took him like an extra 25 seconds maybe to kill that room.
Yeah, that clock doing wonders there, and DK's done in 6. Tabby, meanwhile, is in 4. We know the stair item here is the red ring. I don't believe we saw the floor item in here, though.
So, feels like... I still don't know who has a lead in this one. Like, DK is going to head back to... I guess DK still hasn't found Dungeons 4 and 9, and so it looks like he's probably headed up to clear out the rest of the Northeast and then the waterfall itself, which has those locations.
Yeah, if he hasn't seen any of these spots yet, then yeah, this you're going check density at this point. And yeah, the good news for him is he can clear this out, then loop around. Yeah, he's doing this power bracelet check too, which is another thing that could in theory in his mind bear fruit. There's the item on the floor for Tabby in level 4. It's a heart container, so Tabby's done in 4. That was quick.
And DK looked like he was thinking for a minute, and then circled back. He doesn't have the raft, right? So we can't be checking the raft spot, so is there one other spot over here that he had missed?
Yeah, there may be like a bomb. Yeah.
Oh, he's going back to Dungeon 3 to dig out the rest of it while he's here, because he doesn't have a good path to get back to Dungeon 3 otherwise. And so he's like, so long as I'm this close, I may as well finish that one off.
Yep, it's right here. So yeah, might as well, and then you can route in Lost Hills after that. Oh, DK walking right by... Oh, no, yeah, he already has the ladder. Never mind. That was where our ladder was. Now gonna wrestle with these blue whiz robes. 12 hearts and blue ring is certainly a much better proposition. Once those bombs, can you get them? There you go. Nicely done. Get through that room and head to the left.
Tabby able to face tank the Gliok a bit more than DK was when he was here. So we'll see if Tabby manages to take the route that brings him to the silver arrows.
Boy, the power of the arrow right there, just blasting through those poles voice on Tabby's side. Answer a question in chat. Level 9 is located at the top of the waterfall. Level 4 is at the bottom of the waterfall.
The bottom of the top of the waterfall is what I heard earlier.
That's right. Yeah, it's, this is a technical term, right? The top. It's either the bottom of the top or the top of the bottom.
DK is our first runner in Triforce and Go mode because he has just found the bow out of Dungeon 3, but he has 2 Triforces left to get yet.
Boy, that has to be a big relief. DK knew it was somewhere in 1 through 8, so the ability to get this knocked out now in a dungeon you had to clear anyway. Yeah, that has to feel better than having to go back and dig like 7, for example.
And he really only had 2 difficult Pols voice rooms that he had to deal with in the interim, and so even like knowing that your opponent might have had the bow sooner, like it's not a big deal from DK's point of view in my thinking.
Yeah, no, I'd absolutely agree with that. It's just a question of, and there's the compass right there. That's exactly what DK wants. Get this, get done with 4. Find 4 and find 9. That, if you're worried about anything on DK's side, you're like, where are these 2 levels that I haven't found?
I hate to be nitpicking you, but I don't know the compass is exactly what DK wanted. I think exactly what he wanted was the Triforce, but the compass is a good second place.
Yeah, if you can't get the Triforce, then you at least want to know where it is. So, you'll take it.
Look at these rude blue whiz robes just coming in the doorway saying, hey, DK, get out of there. I want to get your autograph.
Like, oh, you think you're going somewhere? No. And feel free to nitpick me all you want. I have no pride in authorship of any of this. If I make a mistake, please call me on it.
Tabby finally clears that room that foiled him much earlier in the seed. And yeah, right now, I think we might end up having a close race into 9. DK probably doesn't feel that way right now because he's still missing 2 dungeons, but once he discovers they're both up here at the waterfall and he doesn't need the raft for anything, he'll feel a whole lot better, and I have a feeling he's going to make that discovery very shortly.
Yeah, he's kind of out of options otherwise, really. It's one of those feels bad where you're just kind of like, oh god, 4 was here this whole time, but on the other hand, it's just boom, boom, 4, 9, right back to back, and you're just like, okay, well, good. Well, now I don't have to go dig an item out. Power bracelet on the floor for Tabby. Don't need it, but if it's there, just go ahead and grab it. Now, let's see, where were the silvers?
I want to say like left and up.
Yeah, I think they're 2 rooms away. So Tabby this may be one where Tabby can't really avoid it. Might try to bomb up from this Patra room.
All right, DK is probably pretty nervous right now, but his nerves are about to be calmed tremendously.
Ah, much better. It's like, oh, this is what I needed. Let's go.
Tabby's magical sword is also enabling him to clear out the blue dark nuts a bit quicker than it was for DK. So this is another place where Tabby's effectively making up some time, and Tabby's trying not to leave any rooms behind. He knows that to the right there would have been 2 more rooms, but here, sure enough, is the silver arrows. So now Tabby's also in Triforce and Go, and Tabby's only a few rooms away from both the compass and the Triforce, and furthermore, DK had to find a way around the Goma. Tabby can just kill it.
That's true. In that room right before this, in the room to the south here, Tabby thought about going left for a second, but then said, "No, you know what? There's those rooms up there, 3 to the top on the right. Let's just take a peek just in case." Now, doesn't have the compass yet, so doesn't know that that's where they need to go. But gonna clear out this Patra. I'm trying to remember where the compass was. It might have been here. No, it's not. But DK's gonna get their red ring out of 4.
Yeah, and that equalizes things on the armor front. It's still the case that Tabby will have an advantage. The magical sword will be able to dispatch Ganon a bit more quickly, and if there's Wizrobes in Dungeon 9, that'll probably also be a pretty big advantage for Tabby in Dungeon 9 as well. But DK is just 1 room away from the Triforce. DK is going to be the first of our runners to complete all 8 Triforces and be able to go to level 9. He doesn't know where level 9 is, but I have a feeling he's going to find it in 1 screen.
Boy, that's...
Talk about having the rug pulled out. It's like, okay, now I have to go find 9. Well, there's this 1 screen up here. I should probably rule this out before I panic. Like, oh, here it is. Oh, great. Go.
All right. But the good news, if you're in for Tabby, Tabby is about 2 rooms away from where the Triforce is in 8, and then Tabby knows where 9 is and can fluke to 4 and get right there. And there's the compass for Tabby, so gonna get the answer right now.
It is a Wizrobe dungeon in level 9. DK, already having bow and silvers in hand, is probably not going to take many staircases. Neither of our runners has found the book. Perhaps it'll actually be here in level 9. And so we won't necessarily know what the map's going to look like, but we do know where Zelda is because there's a compass on the floor in one of the first rooms.
That's very handy. That can always be, playing hide and seek with Zelda can always be a pain in the tuchus, but DK making a smart call here, trying to find an immediate path to her, and may have a beat on it right here if they can get rid of this Patra. Yeah, it looks like you're going to have to kill that Patra in order to progress further north. Tabby's got the Triforce out of level 8, and Patra has spazzed out.
Yeah, oh no. This Patra is going to be hard to kill. Some of the eyeballs are going to fly off screen and become unavailable temporarily unless DK can catch up to them real quick. You might have to go back up to the top of the screen now and get it when it comes back down, but this is going to cost him like 5 or 10 seconds potentially.
Got him.
Got it.
Very good.
And so we're only roughly like a minute apart in terms of entering Dungeon 9, maybe 2.
Okay, and there's our path to the girl. It's a fairly straight walk, but DK's trying to find the pig. Pig and brig time, roar and door, whatever rhyme you like. But both our runners are in 9 with less than a minute apart, and DK's going to take this stair and see where it takes him.
Meanwhile, Tabby is starting on the route that DK took, and so Tabby's going to find the compass very quickly and probably also do exactly what DK did and try to locate the route to a Zelda's door ASAP, just to make sure that he'll know the way to get there. trying to clip Tabby is into this staircase. Wasn't successful and decided, you know what? I got the magical sword. I got the red ring. Let's just kill these Wizrobes.
Oh,
Or at least
hey,
kill
we
enough
have
of
a
them.
Roar and we have a Ganon on DK side.
So it looks like DK really has the advantage right now. The Pointless Moat is a difficult room to fight Ganon in, so we'll see what DK does here. He's going to have to take a lot of stabs with the white sword.
Yeah, and Ganon was off center given where he spawned there. Yeah, he's far to the left, which means if you're in that spot, the DK's trying to get in second from the bottom on the far left column. Ganon might spawn into you and high roll driver you a couple of times. So if you can withstand that, you're going to be in decent shape.
And that red ring that DK did manage to find on the way to Triforce 4 is now doing work. He would be nearly dead, I think, without it.
He's down to 4 hearts here. Got Ganon stunned, got him down. We have Bacon, and DK has the path to the girl.
Looks like DK is going to take the first of these matches home, but it looks like it's going to be by just that close at any moment. Tabby could also find Ganon and be just a minute or two behind. Wow.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's just a question of, taking the right turn when you're in the level. We'll get your GGs out in chat for our winner of Game 1 of this best of 3 set, dk9146, with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 34 seconds. Very well done.
Indeed, that's a fantastic time in this flag set. And admittedly, we said, 20 or 30 minutes in that both runners were feeling good because there really hadn't been a whole lot of difficult obstacles in this seed, and our runners played it really well.
They did. I mean, both runners were in 9 within like 62 minutes, which in a tournament seed, yeah, you tell me I'm in 9 in an hour.
I
will take that.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just, both runners have played really well. If this is indicative of the caliber of play we're going to see in round 2, then I'm very excited because this match was very entertaining from start to finish. As we said at the top, both runners took different routes from the jump, but really kind of ended up at the same place within 30 seconds of each other.
It was really close coming into 9. And just as a reminder, this is the first game of a doubleheader. It was on the docket for 10:30, but I have a feeling we might end up doing a game 2 before then. So definitely stay tuned and stick around. But in the meantime, we will see if we're going to get our winner in the booth with us shortly.
There we go. Just ask the question in the race room to see if DK wants to talk. It's really kind of runner's preference at this point. You're in between games, so there are kind of two schools of thought on that. Some runners, don't mind kind of talking about kind of what happened in race 1 before they do race 2. Others would just kind of prefer to stay focused and focus on thinking about getting ready for race 2. So it just kind of depends. Different strokes for different folks.
In the meantime, Tabby's route through Dungeon 9 has caused him to see more of this dungeon, and once again, we called out when they first walked in, they don't have the map, so Tabby's kind of bombing random walls and discovering random paths, but I think it was somewhere kind of like in the middle to upper left is where Ganon was, so
yeah, I think
before he finds.
I think you're right. I think it was like 2 or 3 screens away. As we are joined in the booth by our Race 1 winner this evening, DK. GG's, DK. Very well done.
Yeah, thanks. That was zoomy. That's probably the second or third fastest I've ever finished one of these flag sets.
Yeah,
we were just talking about the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, talk us through how you felt kind of as you got started, and then as you closed rather quickly. You had to find 4 and 9 in relative succession.
Yeah, luckily the routing worked great there. I almost went up there earlier, and then it just kind of took me away. But I'm not gonna lie, like I was freaking out. Like this was going so fast. And so you don't have enough time to really think. Everything's just starting to get dumped on you. The early dive of 3, getting the ladder, stuff like that. But honestly, those early dungeons, I tried to push them a little harder than I normally would, just because of how good Tabby is. I was trying to look for an advantage, any kind of advantage I could get.
Getting that ladder early out of 3 definitely was an advantage. Tabby got a little bit blocked in level 8 and did have to double dip after he did that. Tabby just had a clutch potion in the Ganon fight, by the way, and so we'll be finishing very shortly.
Yeah, very nice Ganon fight on Tabby's side, and I believe Tabby has the path, or if not, is headed in the general direction thereof.
Yeah, Tabby somehow missed that room with the compass, it seems. And so still might take a little bit of time to find Zelda, but she was kind of in the middle there. And so it seems likely that it won't take very long.
Yeah, someone yelled at me earlier in this tournament to clear the easy rooms just in case you get a map or a compass, so I did it.
Yes.
We actually talked about that when you were doing
and
it.
Also in Dungeon 8, like there were blue dark nuts and Patra, and you eventually, I think, skipped and bombed out of a room, and it really paid off.
Yeah, 8 was nuts. And having to, especially since I have the bow and having to take the transport around, and I kept getting sent back to the beginning, I had to clear that place 3 times.
Yeah, your opponent got the red ring out of 4 much, much earlier than you, and so never had to buy the blue ring. And so you had a much tougher slog in Dungeon 8, but you were able to do it in 1 pass since you came in with the ladder and some potions that you needed, as opposed to Tabby that needed to return to Dungeon 8 for a 2nd pass.
Nice. Yeah, this was, I didn't know what to think of this one. And honestly, I knew it was going fast. I didn't realize how fast it was until I hit the done button.
You mentioned that you felt this was kind of jetish. Did you feel that way kind of from the beginning, or just kind of as you were discovering? Both of you found a bunch of levels early, so I would totally understand if that was kind of what made you feel that way.
Well, I mean, the couple levels I was able to just go in and get an immediate Triforce. What I saw 3 rooms of 7 counting the entrance, stuff like that. 5, I only saw 4 or 5 rooms, I think it was. Just all of a sudden, Triforces are dumping in my lap. Not knowing if I'm going to get the key items I needed or not along the way makes me paranoid.
One Triforce that didn't jump in your lap was Triforce 8. I'm curious if after getting the 3 items, if you knew for sure that the transport would get you around the Goma, or if you were just hoping that it would, or what was going through your thought at that point?
Yeah, at that point, I was down to 1 other room, the room to the right of that Patra I took a death to. In the top right, there was 1 more room up there. So either the transport led to that 1 room or any of the 4 to the left of the Patra. Or the
Got
Goma
it. So you figured you had great odds that you were going to be able to get around the Goma, because we were wondering at first when you went back in, it was like, the Goma was blocking the way there. What's he doing? But that was a really good thing to notice.
Yeah, and then I got through and there wasn't I had the bomb down. I was like, oh God, watch it not open up. But it did, so it worked out well.
So you found level 4 and level 9 in rapid succession. Did you? I obviously don't have your feed up. We've got so I don't know what you had left in your tracker. Was the Lost Hills basically all you had left to check, other than raft spots?
It was that the power bracelet spot over by Grave, and then the 2 raft spots.
Oof. Okay, so you had to be breathing a huge sigh of relief at that point. As, hey, Tabby has found the path to the girl. Get your GGs in chat for a 2nd place finisher in race 1, Tabby Orange, with a racetime.gg time of 1 hour 11 minute and 10 seconds.
I always like a good 1:11.
A 1:11 is good, or a 1:23? So those are just satisfying numbers, right?
Indeed.
All right. Well, we know you have DK. We know you have game 2 kind of right after this, so we're going to let you and Tabby talk about how much time you want to take between games 1 and 2. We had planned for game 2 to start in about 45 minutes, but if you all want to start early, we can do that too. So we'll just kind of let you guys sort that out, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be taking about a 15, so I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back.
All right. Well, GG's, and we'll see you in game 2.
Yeah, thanks for putting on a good show.
Well, Lorgon, I need to take a quick breather after this. But this was fun. This was a fun, entertaining seed with lots of action and it's a good example of how you can. There's more than one way to clear seed. That our runners kind of took divergent paths, but they all kind of converged within 30 seconds of each other.
Yeah, it was cool to see the high fives kind of like in Dungeon 6 along the way. And then, yeah, they were coming from completely different angles, but ended up in Dungeon 9, just one right after the other. And so this was a good, fun match to watch from start to finish.
Absolutely. It was great. It was great doing comms with you. And thanks as well to our tracker tonight, Opno Point. Our trackers are our real MVPs, keeping us honest. And we greatly appreciate Opno doing the tracking tonight. So, so we're going to take about a 15-minute break. We'll be back on this same channel here in about 15 minutes for Game 2 of this series. So grab some popcorn or whatever snack you want and something to drink and get settled in, because if Game 2 is anything like Game 1, it's going to be really exciting. Brian, any other thoughts?
Nope. Just that I'm looking forward to some more action.
Oh, same here. This is going to be great. So we'll see you all in about 15 minutes. Thanks, everybody.